with a very sound argument to say this is what we think is happening out there. So I'm glad because we have a research unit that can actually begin to look at things that we want to find out as the commission. Thank you for taking over and chairing this meeting, Commissioner Bot.
That's you. Hey, I hope Chairperson we studying Tokanako. Please.
This conversation is off, Commissioner Bota.
Yeah, no, yeah, I hope that's the Commissioner Bota it's off this.
Even some of our members are affected by this disease. You know, some of them, they went to Cape Town, and then after some few weeks now, they tested positive. So we don't know whether they contracted the disease in Cape Town, on the way, or wherever they are staying. So we are praying. Like how we have 2 members who are infected. So we are praying for them nomgweba every day. Ukuthi uNkulunkulu abenzele umusa. Because there's nothing we can do. And Wesley, they are from our region here, Ekurhuleni. So we are praying for them, honorable members. I think our today's agenda is not going to be long, and I'm hoping that your spirits are fine, and you know, we can't allow the devil. The devil is a liar. The devil has got no power. We will serve the people of South Africa according to God's will. Nelly, so where is the agenda?
I've sent it yesterday, last night.
La maletha Nelly sowasendela mina ungasawasendela kimi. Why say straight to legal team, ne?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why ngayiboni? But I think it's the same agenda, yeah, that we were dealing with from the department and from NYDA, and today it's CGE. The agenda is about adjustment budget, but also what they need to do. They need to start with the issues that we said they must go and write a report and present them first. I think it's the same agenda, and thereafter we engage on them, on those issues, dealing with from the department and from and then we'll take it from there. I think what I've done also, Chair, we have sent you a letter to give us the updates on the other senior managers' contracts. They need to start when are their contracts ending, and so that we can take the process forward also. We must know when are they. Yeah, and the other thing that we wanted to critique you about is that when we look at your senior management structure, it was boys. It was the boys choir. It was only the CEO was a woman. So how do you fight inequality and gender representativity when your own organization is not balanced? You about is that, you know, and nina benikhona nabo babubhotha nabo mama Zibuko nabo mama Nthabiseng, doctor, and I think Commissioner Sidiko was there. And how do you employ a boys choir? Senior management level, how are you going to monitor departments if in yourselves you are failing to implement your own organization? So that's why we requested that information, because we want to make sure we start by you. As we do oversight, we start ngani. Because it's Tembeni, you are going to monitor our departments, our entities, but nina mani madlakadlaka Chair. And then I told you the question. I didn't notice. What is this now? Yeah, do we have any apologies, Neliswa?
Yes, Chair, I just received now apology from Mam Kaula. She's saying she's not feeling well. And then there was one apology that I received from the CGE with regards to Commissioner Dei, who will not be able to attend due to a funeral that is taking place. It's clashing with today's meeting. I think it's her funeral. It's her parents' funeral. Thank you, Chair.
Her parents? Are you saying her parents?
Yes, Chair.
Sure, abazali. Chair, can you clarify, Unelisa, uthi her parents? Sure, abazali.
Good morning and thank you, Chairperson. I think I sent an apology privately, Chair, just to respect privacy, because I think she really wanted to join the meeting. But yes, it's a parent, Chair.
Sure, shame.
Yes. But she really wanted to join this morning, late,
No,
and we felt it's not right.
yeah,
but I sent the privately, Chair, in advance so that we don't deliberate or labor on it. I think she needed privacy on it, Chair.
No, shame. Our deepest condolences, Chair. Ukushonelwa abazali, it's not an easy thing. Those of you who still have parents, boythu, Lord. Those of us who knows how painful it is to lose one parent, we know how that pain. And our deepest condolences, Chairperson. May their soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Yeah. I think we are on item number 3, a briefing by the Commission for Gender Equality, by CGE, on the annual performance plan and budget for 2020 and outstanding matters from the previous meeting. Yeah, so what we were doing with the department and the NYDA, we start with the outstanding matters, and then thereafter we finish with the adjusted budget. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. And good morning to you. I greet the whip, the honorable members of the Portfolio Committee on Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities. This morning, Chair, we are bringing reports. We are bringing information required, and we're quite excited and happy, Chair, that you have invited us back into a follow-up meeting just to present on the reports that were outstanding and required. And I know that after presentation, honorable member would like to engage on those reports. Chair, I'm joined by the delegation of commissioners, chairperson, as well, and the deputy chairperson are leading this delegation. We have CFO, we have CEO, who are going to present on certain issues, Chair, this morning. And I want to say that I think based on the presentations that we have brought forward, I must declare that some of those presentations were supposed to be tabled at our a plenary, which was scheduled for yesterday and today. But unfortunately, we had to prioritize this meeting and we will table some of these deliberations and reports at the plenary on Monday and Tuesday. Chair, without taking too much time, presentations this morning from outstanding work that we presented previously will focus on the commissioner's detailed commissioner's annual plan. We will talk a bit about the report, or if we can call it the roadmap on the recruitment of a PA for the commissioners, but also we will also present a bit about the report on the process and procedures that we are following in terms of recruiting and appointing the CEO. So I think those are the three that we can perhaps present for now, Chair. And I also just want to say that there was quite a number of reports that we submitted last week, I think Monday, and I think members, perhaps based on those submissions, members were clarified. But if members need more information on what we submitted last week, we are more than willing to actually go through that. And then perhaps later then, Chair, as you indicated, we will allow the CEO and the CFO to present on the implications of COVID-19 epidemic on the work and the mandate of the CGE. We have prepared presentations on that. Not only on that, we will also present on the implications of the budget reprioritization, which is also something that we were going to focus on and look at it at plenary as well. I must declare that, you know, some of these things are coming as new things amongst our members, but I know that they will be tabled at plenary next week. Chair, I think as we all know that when it comes to COVID-19, CGE was an essential service. So we were providing service, we were working in terms of providing service, so during the lockdown period. And we also did submit and developed our own internal as well as external plan that is actually looking at how we can actually manage our work out there, but also manage internally in terms of responding and mitigating the response of the COVID. Let me not waste too much time, Chair. I think myself and the Deputy Chair will present on the Commissioner's annual plan, which was submitted in time, Chair, this time around. So asikoloti. And I must also indicate that the detailed plan is for the current financial year 2020-2021. So I also stated Luto this time, Chair. I'm not sure. And the second thing, Chair, that I want to indicate in that detailed report, it's very detailed. I think it's about 27 to 32 pages, but we will just quickly go through it, no, Deputy Chair, just to give highlights on it. It's a report that that is developed to actually show how we as commissioners are actually planning to do our own monitoring and oversight work. And I must also say that it's detailed in such a way that it aligns to the 5-year strategic plan that we submitted, I think about a month or 2 months ago in May. And it also is aligned to the annual performance plan that we submitted last month on the 26th. And that plan, in our strategic objectives, I4, and all those 4 strategic objectives are also speaking to the operations, so the operational side, which is the secretariat, as well as commissioners, sihamba sonke according to those 4 categories or 4 strategic objectives. So that's how it's structured. But I think on the plan itself, we have structured it in such a way that it actually details and tell you exactly on these strategic objectives, what are you doing and what are we planning to do? And then further down, you will see how we have detailed in terms of the actual interventions by commissioners themselves, separate from the operational side and or what the secretariat is doing. Chair, we have developed it. It has guiding principles. It talks to the initial commissioner program that we submitted, I think in May, in preparation for the May meeting. That program is an overall program. It's an overarching framework. Esitshelayo ukuthi this is how we will do our work. And then we have actually pruned it down, brought it down to the plan to say, hey, program, this is what we will be doing. And the purpose of this plan, Chair, is to provide guidance. And it's there to actually regulate the commissioners in executing their own responsibilities. It also interfaces between what the operations are doing, which is the secretariat, as well as the commissioners, because you will see where we say responsible person, it actually tells you Lana, it's the office of the commissioners, but also the commissioners are not working alone at national, provincial level, as well as local level, because we do have a footprint in my provinces. So masutsinama meetings, no salga, mhlambe siyaphuma siye Eastern Cape, elalini yaseNgqushwa, siyakwazi ukuthi ngalowo mini leyo sithathe ama-provincial managers, sithathe a legal person, sihambeni sonke siyokwenza illegal clinic kuleyo ndawo. Kodwa bangaba siyabona ba siya eNorthwest this time around, ra itse hore ka nako eo re tlanka the provincial managers tsa Northwest re tsamaya le tsona. So tla ibona che ina le ho interface between the work of the commissioners as well as the work of the operations, but it's clear because yona it's an overarching oversight work. Chair, I want to also indicate that it's aligned to the areas of expertise. I think in the plan itself, it actually details what we are about. For an example, I will take Commissioner, Deputy Chair, who is actually well vested when it comes to issues of women economic empowerment. So kuleyo ndawo, you will find that Deputy Chair will be running with that program at national, provincial levels. When it comes to issues of women economic empowerment. But when it comes to men, boys, issues of medical male circumcision or male circumcision and fatherhood, siyazi ukuthi kuleyo ndawo leyo sibeke uCommissioner Border. If it's about issues of engaging other stakeholders like our own unions, for an example, we know ukuthi sithatha uCommissioner Klobatla, and she actually runs with that program, interface with churches, schools, and all of that, Commissioner Mazibuko. And if it's about anything that has to do with disability, then we know we will ask Commissioner Mazibuko to actually go and not only her, because we also are there. It's a cross-cutting issue. We will be there to support on issues of disability. So I think that's how it's structured, Chair. When you go further down, under each strategic objective, there are detailed quarterly interventions that are there. And then those quarterly interventions, zinama targets of their own. So it's a targeted program per strategic objective with couple of performance indicators for ourselves, so that we can be able to measure ourselves, whether it's per month, per quarter, and per annum, so that we can see whether we are making progress on each and every intervention that we have set for ourselves. So for an example, Chair, if you look at strategic objective that talks about, let me just pick one, I think strategic objective 1, where we are talking about meetings with Parliament on proposed legislations and policies. You will find that because we know that we are about changing and advancing gender equality in so far as legislations and policies are concerned. So for an example, right now, we set 4 meetings or 5 meetings with Parliament. And we know right now, from the presidential plan, from the new gender-based violence and femicide strategic plan, we are talking about a need to review a Domestic Violence Act and Sexual Offences and Amendment Act. So we are looking at making sure quarter by quarter, we take one thing, we do it properly, we come and present to the portfolio committee. And I know that the CEO has always been saying, we were also lagging behind with other policies that needed review and presenting to Parliament. So we have structured in such a way that at least for this time around, it's 5 policies that we will take to the Portfolio Committee and present them there. And if we look at what we are saying at a provincial level, Chair, under the very same strategic objective, we are saying at provincial level, we want to meet with SALGA. We want to meet with SALGA, we want to meet with the provincial Office of the Premier. We want to meet with the legislature in the provinces because women's caucuses and all, because we want to influence policy at a provincial level. So, and you will remember, Chair, we also submitted and delegated commissioners according to provinces. So this is the kind of work that we will be doing at a provincial level. Provincial legislatures, you know, engaging SALGA, analyzing and look at how policies at that level are structured. And if I can make an example on the very same one that I was talking about, Chair, a new strategic plan on gender-based violence and femicide. Provinces need to actually now take from that national plan, develop their own provincial plans. Tina, we will play oversight role on the national, but also on the provincial strategic plans that have been developed. And we know that there are structures that are put in place. In provinces, these structures will be monitored by the Premier. We need to even monitor those structures at a provincial level. And they will be deputized by a member of an NGO. So ours is to actually monitor even at that level. For an example, Chair, if you take gender mainstreaming, SALGA, we've been doing quite a lot in different provinces, in fact, in all provinces, but different municipalities that we have actually piloted a program esibiza ngokuthi gender mainstreaming. So that gender mainstreaming yenziwa yi-secretariat, but ours is to make sure that that gender mainstreaming is known, Lila's presenter corner, it's known by the SALGA Women's Caucus, it's known by the SALGA Women's Commission, it's known by the caucus members at provincial level, and it's a program that we take to the decision makers so that they can make sure that gender machinery at a national or a provincial level is able to influence the gender mainstreaming at all levels. And we assist Abo SALGA, we assist municipalities in terms of making sure that that program is implemented at that level, and we monitor and we write reports and we bring those reports to you, Chair. I think where we say we assist with the development of the gender-based violence issues at national and at regional and international levels, this is where the commissioners play a critical role in terms of taking our national interventions and not only interventions, but models that we have piloted, implemented, and those models that we see that are working, we are able to share those models as commissioners at regional platforms, magunama conferences, at international platforms, magunama CEDAWs. So that's the responsibility of the commissioners. But namasi agulama conferences, we're not going there alone. We go with the secretariat. So those are the kinds of work. And if you look at the last one, Chair, because I just want to pause here. If you look at the last strategic objective, which is about building the institution, strengthening the institution ngaphakathi, these 3 strategic objectives are outward looking, but this one in particular, it's building the institution internally. And I think it's the emphasis that Commissioner O'Hara Ngomadiseko was emphasizing in our last meeting. It's very important for us, Chair, because if we don't strengthen our own institution ngaphakathi, sihamba siyiskorokoro singenamasondo aphelele, we will not be able to actually influence and monitor other people there. And I think it goes back to what you said in your opening remarks, Chair, to say we need to even look at ourselves. If we think we are having boys choir, these are some of the things that we need to look at under strategic objective 4, which is about building the institution, strengthening internally our systems, our policies, which is why, Chair, as commissioners, as actors develop our policies, we approve them, but we make sure that things like commissioners' programs, commissioners' handbook are revised and are approved This is where we also do our oversight meetings every quarter, and we take decisions at that level, Chair. And these are some of the things that we are doing internally. I will pause here, Chair, and allow the Deputy Chair to actually come in on this detailed plan, Chair. Thank you.
Magame kancane, Deputy Chair. I see Honorable Masiko, Honorable Maluleka.
Thank
Honorable
you.
Masiko.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Chairperson, I would request before the Deputy Chairperson continues in terms of presenting the report, the Chairperson in her opening remarks, Chairperson of CGE, I think she was making a disclaimer to this portfolio committee meeting that some of the reports that we will be receiving today have not really been discussed in plenary. The understanding that I have of their plenary is a committee where all the commissioners are present in CGE, and she has indicated that the plenary will be sitting on Monday. I want to check, Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, whether it is in order for us as a Portfolio Committee to discuss some of the reports, of which I'm hoping that the Chairperson of CGE will give clarity on which of these reports exactly have not been discussed in plenary. Is it in order for us as a Portfolio Committee to discuss reports that have not been collectively discussed by the institution CGE? I don't think it's in line, Chairperson. We have experienced such in the Department of Women, and we have on several occasions turned them back. And I think for them to discuss internally the reports that they present to us as a portfolio committee. This, Chairperson, is important so that each and every matter that is brought to us, we need to ensure that it has been properly processed by the institution as a whole and collectively, and there is collective ownership in every detail that is brought to us as a portfolio committee. I think in order for us to discuss any report that has
Unmute his mic because answer the phone and mic hits Samos. Commissioner Porter, mute your mic, please. Okay, continue, Honorable Masiko.
Chairperson, I'm wrapping up and just saying that I don't think that it would be in order for us to deal with any detailed report that has that does not necessarily have the collective ownership of all the commissioners or the entire institution as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Masiko. Honorable Maluleke.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to everyone. Honorable Chairperson, I just want to second Honorable Masiko to say we are not going to entertain the report that was not agreed upon by all the commissioners. So if the Chairperson says that they are still going to present the report in their plenary on Monday, so let's just agree that we withdraw that report, and after they have agreed on the report, they've discussed the report, then they can come back and bring it to us. For now, we are not going to entertain it. I just want to second what Honorable Masiko was saying. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, honorable members. In that order, Chair, we are not going to discuss the report, any report that you have not processed in plenary as commissioners. We are not going to discuss it. We are withdrawing all the reports that you did not discuss. You know what? It's because Parliament can't deal with reports that are not processed formally by structures. And that's why even with other Department of Women, we did the same. We turn them back, that they must go back to the department and discuss their reports, process it correctly, and then submit to Parliament. So Nani Sinenzela Kanjalo will give you another day so that you can come back and because sizothi sikhuluma ngani ireport kabani if other you didn't process them, so we can't. legally, in terms of our rules of parliament, we can't do that. So you need to go back with your report, discuss it, so that also singabuyeli kule nto eclumsy yokuthi omunye uthi just go back with that report. And today sifocuseni ke because there are many things that we said you must go self-correct. In fact, I even read some of the things and ngiyazibona ukuthi sizonixabanisa kakhulu. So the best thing, go back, discuss it, everything in that report. Today sifocuseni kule adjustment budget, and then we'll call you again. There's no problem. Any report that you know that you did not discuss, and how far are you with the process now? Ningasitsheli buyelani emuva niyozidiscussa zonke, and then sizonibiza futhi nizosithabulela ama-report. We're not in a hurry. Don't feel pressurized. Ukuthi mhlambe you feel benifuna ukumeet deadline, but no, we'll give you time to do it in a proper way. We are fine. For today, let's concentrate to adjusted budget. If nayo ani discussanga, that means nayo we can't discuss it. Mara if ni discuss it, we can discuss it. But if ani discussanga, that means you will have to come back next week, because we don't want ukuthi manifike meeting in kube ngathi ni divided. We want to see you working as a collective. And abantu bangaboni, you know, Nina, you don't understand, because Tina, we get feedback and what people are saying after our meetings. So we must also protect you as commissioners, because it's about your integrity also, and the institution where you are leading. So we'll always do our level best to protect you. So that is where we are now. Over to you, Chair and Deputy Chair. I need your comments. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, I appreciate the spirit and the manner in which you are approaching this, because I think that was our own, and you know, we were quite anxious, Chair, that we need to bring these reports here. Including the adjusted budget report hasn't really been tabled at plenary as well.
Okay.
So most of the roadmaps and the reports that we submitted have not been tabled, Chair. So,
Okay.
And we appreciate it if members of Parliament are actually giving us that opportunity, because it's quite true, Chair. We still need to go to our own a meeting as a collective, agree, disagree, but agree.
Yeah.
And then we can bring a product, Chair, or a report that we all own to the portfolio committee. I think it's a good suggestion, and I'm speaking on behalf of all commissioners. I think it's a good suggestion, Chair. You know, we were quite anxious that we are bringing something that is not complete.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. Yeah, no, it's fine. Deputy Chair, you wanted to say something?
No, Chair. Honourable members, good morning, and good morning to commissioners. I just want to concur with the chairperson. I think we need to go to plenary, make sure that everything has been processed accordingly. Thanks, members.
No, thank you very much, honourable members and commissioners. We'll give you a chance. I think by next week, Wednesday, or Thursday, Neliswa, we must check, ne? When are we expected to finalize our reports in Parliament? I think, but it's next week. So we'll give you a day where you are gonna come. Nelisa will notify you, Chair, so that at least we can be able to process your report properly, and we finalize our report, because it's only CGE now. Others we have dealt with already. Thank you very much for coming, and I think the team spirit, you are working on it. I like that one. At least today we have smiled, yeah. Chair, you know it's so bad to go to a meeting whereby people are not smiling. People are, it's like you want to strangle each other. You can't work like that. So thank you very much. Our meeting is adjourned, and today I'm writing an exam. So myself.
Chair, before you
Chair.
Chair, before you close, can I please just say something?
Okay.
Thank you for recognizing me, Chairperson, and good morning to you and all the honorable members and the Commission. Chairperson, I just wanted to raise this in committee formally, as something formal. The case that we heard about in the media this week about a 2-year-old little girl getting raped at a hospital in Pretoria is something that really triggered me in my soul, Chairperson. This little girl was there for COVID-19 isolation, and she was in an isolation ward. And the general, the DG of the hospital has said that he only found out about this in the media. It's been said that the FCS hasn't been contacted to open up a case. I did, however, read an article this morning saying that the commissioner, the police commissioner for Gauteng, is aware of what's happening. But I just think that we as a portfolio, a 2-year-old chairperson, 2 years old, she was 2 years old chairperson, at a hospital chair. So this just says to us that we are not even safe at hospitals. She was in isolation at a hospital and she was raped.
Jesus.
And the FCS said that the police didn't even open a case on what has happened. So I just want to bring it to the committee's attention so that we can keep an eye on it. And if we need to go to the hospital, chairperson, we are in Gauteng. We just need to figure out what's happening. Right now, the investigation is underway. And so we will look forward to hear what comes back from the investigation. But I just thought I want to raise it here in this committee, chairperson. Thank you.
I think the portfolio committee on health, they went to one of the hospitals for I don't know which hospital they went to in Tshwane. So I will check with the chair and the whip, or Honorable Masiko. We can check with the whip and the chair of portfolio committee on health. But I think because Nani as commissioners, chair and deputy chair, those who are here in Gauteng, Babu Botha, the chair, Mam O'Hara, Sisnoma Sonto, and Kunjoba Nomunyo like Gauteng.
Commissioner Mazibuko is here in Gauteng, Chair.
Yeah, Commissioner Mazibuko is Sisnoma Sonto. May you also attend to that case so that feedback. But can you send that article to me also, or to all members, Honorable Sheriff?
No problem, Chairperson. I'll do it right now.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Honorable Masiko.
Thank you, Chair. I had requested to also raise the one of the grade 7 from KZN Bulwa, who was sent back from school for not having a mask, and on her way back home to collect the mask, she was also raped. Yeah, there's a case currently in KZN that has been in the media of a grade 7 who was sent back by the security guard for not having a mask. So I think it's something that we also need to speak to the Department of Education about the additional masks if they have for kids, because also the act of turning the young person back, not only took away time from the schooling, but it also exposed her to the dangers outside in the community. But I wanted to formally request that we take it as that all the reports that have been submitted that have not been processed are withdrawn formally from this platform, because we anticipate that there would be additions or maybe alterations to these reports that have not been processed. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right, Honorable Masiko. All reports were submitted, and they will be turned back, and the CGE will then go and process them in their formal meeting on Monday, and they will be called again so that they can come and make their presentation, and we adopt those reports after that. Thank you very much, honorable members. This thing, they don't provide masks.
They do.
They do.
They do, and they need
Not in all schools.
But Chairperson, Lengani had forgotten her mask, Chairperson.
Manje babubotha why mangabe ingane ikhohlwe banganikezanga enye mask.
No, it's
Yeah,
the
that's the problem. My problem. I think you're right, Chair, in Kinga, because one would have expected them to have, provision extra. Unfortunately, that's what happened. But also in my province as well, I mean, a father gave 2 of his children poison, and they are recuperating in hospital 2 days ago. They had a disagreement with the wife or the girlfriend, and then he tried to kill himself and poison the 2 kids. So, Chairperson, all I'm saying is that there's an increase, lots and lots of them, almost every day, this incident, Chairperson.
The devil is contesting space with God. That's why we need to pray. I'm telling you, it's scary. What I'm hearing, it's scary. Okay, Babu Pota Ushe Elimpopo. I'm always corrected by Mom Sister Joyce. Limpopo or Limpompo?
Limpopo.
Well, Limpopo.
Okay, Limpopo. Okay, thank you very much, honorable members and our commissioners. Thank you very much for your attendance. And Chair, we're wishing you well. Protect yourself, protect your children, your families. Make sure that you observe social distance, wear your mask every time. And even our families, let's educate them. They must always wear their masks. And they must not move around from one province to another province unnecessarily. Because some people, because they are driving, nobody's checking whether driving from Mpumalanga to Gauteng, whether that person is having a permission to travel. Because we're still in level 3. And the regulations, people must apply, for a permit. But those that are driving their own cars, I'm sure they are not being monitored. And now here in Gauteng, when you look at the statistics, Babu Botha and Che, it's scary every day. Can't imagine province probably, when there was a debate during the week on Tuesday, COVID, when the minister was presenting the statement and honorable members were debating, others were saying maybe Gauteng and I don't know which province and Western Cape, they should be taken back to level 5. And do we know what are the implications if we're taken back to level 5? Now, as we speak, people are losing their jobs, and the most people who are affected are women. So it's us as women who suffer too much because it's us who are also taking care of our children. And most women are single parents. And you can imagine if we go back to level 5, it's going to be worse. You can see about Edgar's, so it's women who are working in those shops mostly. So all of us, I think, educating our communities is important. You know what? You go to townships, Boso Shangove, Mamelodi, Amanskral, it's like normal. People don't even wear masks. Washing of hands, it's worse. I think we need to educate our communities and our families, starting with our families, you know, because now if we don't preach that gospel, with no, you must take precautions. They won't take this thing serious, and they visit us, and you can imagine sometimes omunye umuntu ufika kwakhe nje angakutshela ukuthi uyeza, and mamqoshe egate kuyoba ngathi ukhohlakele. So I think honorable members and commissioners, thank you very much. We're wishing you well and keep safe.
Sorry, Chair. Sorry, Chair. Sorry, before you formally close, Chair. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Chair, to do this. Yes, Chair. I just want to say that because there was a suggestion from the honorable members, especially Honorable Masiko, to say we need to withdraw. So I want to say that we formally withdraw the reports, Chair, as the commission. And we want to wish you all the luck with your exams. And we want to also just wish all the honorable members a very safe time during this COVID-19 epidemic. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Bye. The meeting is adjourned.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Chair.
Bye, Sherif.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ma.
Bye.
Bye, Tobata nina ningone Mpumalanga kwamanje ne.
Mina ekhaya sihlaselwe nzima. Good luck.
Well, thank you, Ma.
Sihlaselwe nzima kaNtuli. People are on quarantine, right? I see my niece, it's bad.
Bye, Mam O'Hara.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Nomasonto. Bye-bye. Nomasonto. Yebo. Ngiyokukonsela KZN.
Kwanza please. Ngibalelwe yi-COVID sengizifuna ngilapho.
Ngiyokukonsela KZN.
Yebo.
Namukhokhele.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Uze KZN.
Yebo, ababili.
Uze KZN Mantuli. Yila inkaba yami yasala khona. Ubuya. Yes. Have a nice day. Same to you, Sandra Sam. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye, Ma. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye. Love you. Bye.